Right, here we go. So, entrepreneurs. I don't think that there is ever a time that we intentionally give bad service. That doesn't make any sense. Every stylist, every salon owner I've ever spoken to always takes pride and wants to deliver a great service, awesome customer experience. It's not like a restaurant where, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ed DeBevick's or like Dick's Last Resort, where the whole shtick is that your server and the staff are kind of rude to you. I don't think that would fly very well in a salon setting. But the truth is, there are times where even with the best intentions, we go wrong. On the last podcast, I had mentioned that through social media, you tend to get close to people, but people don't really share their failures very often. And I'm going to share with you 3 examples that have come up relatively recently. They're in my short-term memory bank that are examples of us failing, but then also being able to recover and learn from them. So we recently had a guest that she came in and she saw one of our new stylists. Person's been on the floor, completed our training program, and she wasn't happy with her haircut experience. And so I got a call from our front desk that's saying, we'd like you to call the guest back. She didn't leave very happy. And I know that all of you salon owners right now, you know that feeling where you're just like, oh man, like what? Why? So I called the guest back and I just listened to her and listened to her experience. Our haircut experience is booked for 45 minutes. For whatever reason, her stylist, who is an awesome stylist, she got it done in 25 minutes. Now, maybe the haircut was a simple haircut and the stylist just didn't need that much time. Maybe she felt rushed. Sometimes we're just off our game. Whatever the case may be, the guest did not feel as though she was getting the value for her experience. And, to be honest, I don't blame her. If you're coming in and you're paying a premium, you want not just a well-executed finished result, but you also want the experience. And so that day, our team recognized that the guest wasn't happy. We did not charge her for her service, but she still wanted to speak with me. And so I called and I listened, I engaged, I answered her questions. I agreed with her. I think that it's important in those situations that you don't call and, become defensive. Yes, you should have your team's back, but you also need to be on the same side as the guest in terms of understanding where they're coming from and what they're feeling. And you know what? I don't know if the guest will ever come back, but she was very thankful that I reached out to her and that I listened and that I engaged with her. And she said that she really appreciated it. And sometimes that's the answer. It's something as small as just reaching out and listening. Another situation that came up recently where I dropped the ball. I was supposed to be going in to open one of our locations in the morning. We had a massage guest that was starting at 9:30, and I was almost there. I was running on time, and I realized I had forgot my keys at home. When I realized that, I was so frustrated. I called our massage therapist. I said, I'm really sorry about this. I'm not going to make it. I got to go back and get my keys. I'll try and be back as soon as possible. Ran home, got my keys, came back. I think it was almost like 10 o'clock before we got that first guest started. Luckily, it didn't throw off the whole day, but obviously being half an hour late for an hour massage is not a good feeling. So she did get her full massage. We had some buffer space built into the schedule there. And when she was done, massage therapist came back and she said, Ben, I don't know if you feel comfortable with this, but maybe we should give her the massage complimentary today for the mix-up. And I did want to do something because, of course, this is also a long-standing guest with us. We want to make her happy. She's been with us for years. She gets massage and hair, so multi-department guest. And at the same time, though, giving away a $100 massage because I was half an hour late, that seemed like a big giveaway. So what I did instead was I asked her stylist, what shampoo and conditioner would you recommend for her? And she said the color treated one, because she gets her hair colored. I said, awesome, that's great. Because I also still have some that is overstock from our holiday purchases. So I was able to grab a product package for her. You know, it probably actually only cost me probably somewhere around $25. But I was able to give her nearly $60 in value as an apology. Now she said, oh, you know, of course you don't need to do that. Mistakes happen, but I really did want to make it up to her. So I was able to apologize. I was able to give her more value, and potentially it was something that she hasn't purchased yet. So if she likes it, even in the future, it might turn into future sales. But ultimately, the important part was that she was happy with the outcome that day and accepted the apology. The last example, the last parable of good service gone bad, and this is maybe something that you've experienced yourself too, is as stylists, we want to be really, really accommodating. You know, when a client makes a request, we really do want to do it. You don't want to be the person that says, oh no, like that won't work or this won't work. But when it goes wrong and you know that you shouldn't have done it, it stings that much more. And so that was the example of our third story. Was we had a new guest that found us. She came in. She had, you know, coarser texture, a little difficult to work with. She saw one of our, you know, really experienced stylists that, you know, I would have them handle everything. And just the haircut from a suitability standpoint wasn't the best choice. And when the guest was here, I think that she knew it, because she was actually in the salon apologizing for even wanting to do the haircut. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, don't feel bad. And so, you know, again, we knew that she wasn't feeling it. And so we didn't charge her for her service that night, because why would you do that? And, you know, we apologized and went about our ways. The next morning, I wake up to see that she had actually given us a 1-star review on Yelp. And we've got a really great Yelp standing because of the fact that we do really great service. And, you know, it's just heartbreaking when you see that. And she had posted 2 or 3 photos along with it. And when she was in the salon, she actually left before her haircut was done. So it wasn't even refined or finished. She's posting these photos, and it was just like, oh my God, like what is going to happen here? So I got the guest information. I called her from my cell phone on a Sunday. We were closed, but I wasn't going to wait for the whole weekend. And I just apologized. And I said, you know, I'm so terribly sorry that everything, you know, didn't come up the way that you wanted it to. And she was actually really cool on the phone and understanding that things went, you know, that good things can go bad, not because there's any ill intention or anything, but, you know, she was cool. And, you know, so I just started talking to her, and I knew that she didn't want to come back to the salon, but I still wanted to find a way to make it up to her. And so I said, do you have a favorite restaurant? And she said, no, you know, I'm new to the city. I haven't really found anything. And I said, okay, well, what I would like to do for you is, even though you didn't have a good experience with us, I would love to give you a good experience and send you to a Let Us Entertain You restaurant. They're a restaurant group here in Chicago. They have some of my favorite restaurants in the city. And so I sent her a $100 gift certificate as soon as I got off the phone with her. I sent it to her email address. She got it. She thanked me for it. But it was really, truly, it came from a point of she came in looking to have a great experience, and she didn't. And the feeling of when you have bad hair or that your hair is not working for you is the reason that we're here. It's the challenge that we try to solve for everybody. And so we just felt terrible that she had such a bad experience. Now, I never mentioned her review. I didn't say, you know, that really upset us or anything like that. I didn't mention it. But she ended up taking her review down and deleting the photos. And so you might be hearing that thinking, oh my gosh, $100 And, but to us, that $100 to have that review wiped, or, have her decide that she didn't want to keep it up there, that was worth it, man. Like, that was really worth it. Yelp in Chicago is hugely important. And again, she could have updated the review and said, like, they tried to buy me off. She could have just deleted the review, or I'm sorry, she could have just left it up there. We never talked about that. So we got a little lucky. But I think that we got a good result out of it because we came from, a true place of authenticity, that it was honestly a gesture just to make up for the fact that we felt bad that it didn't go her way. So, those are 3 different examples of 3 different situations in terms of being able to rebound them. One just needed to be listened to. One, we might have rebounded and potentially turned into future sales. And one, we just wanted to make sure that she had a good experience, and, we kept our name intact. So, yeah, I don't know. I felt like this would be a good episode to bounce off of the previous episode. I want to share the failures. I want to admit that they're failures so that we can understand them, embrace them, and then learn from them and move on. So I want to hear from you. Email me, ben@thehairloftltd.com. What service situations have you been in, and how did you recover from them and turn your bad service back into a good service? Because I know that you're a good service provider. So until the next episode, please continue to deliver that great salon experience and live your successful lifestyle.